All right, I'm going to call the Monday, October 5th meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. I didn't really schedule our agenda that well, and I apologize. I was a little bit out of sorts and trying to get out of town because I have Mary on to give us an update, and it's at 5:45, but I think we would be hard pressed to not have it. I don't think we expect anybody to come and sit.
I don't see a crowd.
I don't either. And if somebody should happen to come in, you're more than welcome to start over again. So Mary's going to give us an update on the, what was it, October 1st executive meeting of the Neshoba Board of Health?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay, so I had told you before with all the new regulations and everything, they're reorganizing everything. And as Jim said, sometimes change is good. So what they had to do during all this reorganization and putting everything in place this summer was to not take new clients for a while because they had a big turnover of staff, and you can't take them if you don't have enough people. So right now they're going to have to build up that again now that they've hired some people. They had a new administrator was starting today, and she actually came in on a Saturday and they interviewed her, and she had very good credentials. She comes from Seabrook, but she'd actually, I said, Seabrook, coming down here? Oh, she had been traveling further than that.
Okay.
Wow.
So he's happy about that. They also have a certified hospice nurse that's starting, so that takes care of that.
Good.
Yes. As far as, let's see, we had someone come from Bartholomew, that's their group that they're doing their like OPEB investments. Because prior to that, they had CDs. And, you know, for a while when CDs, you had them going at different times, that was fine. But CDs, you might as well put, you know, your money in a coffee can somewhere. So they just started last September with Bartholomew. So the lady was there to give an update and tell what stocks that they were involved in, etc. As far as the pension, they had to actually hire a lobbyist to help them with this. They have not got a date yet. They did reach out to Senator Flanagan from Leominster to see if she could give them any help. And they've talked to a lot of other small groups like Neshoba Board of Health and think maybe they'll all go in together to see if they can get something done. Meantime, you have to set aside a certain amount of money because you know you're going to have to pay something, you just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And also with the new regulations, if somebody fills out a form and they don't check one particular thing, it comes back. So then you have to resubmit it. So if you look at their financials, they could be have $40,000 or $50,000 in debt. Well, you might not get this for another 6 or 8 months because you have to keep resubmitting, and staff has to be paid. So he does feel that that they've turned the corner on that. Now, as far as the town of Stowe that they just took on a 6-month trial basis, they're asking in Stowe, so are you going to keep us after the 6 months? Well, as the chair said the other night, we've had 3 months. You know, at our meeting in January, when we've had at least a 6-month report, then we'll make a decision as to whether there should be a full-time. But Jim said even if we decided that it didn't benefit us, that they'd give them a 2-month leeway and
so
help
they could
them
find
out.
somebody.
Yeah,
Sure.
Because they're, unlike up here, they're down around, private wells and
On-site
septic.
wastewater.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So that was pretty much everything we did
Interesting.
from there.
I was
Yeah.
curious about how Stowe was doing over there and that length of time. I knew it was a trial period.
Trial period, and the person that was doing it just left. Boom, and that was that. Said, well, I'm done. And
I meant to look into that. I wanted to see who it was.
And they have, like us, they have a part-time administrative
Sure.
assistant.
Yep.
The one thing was that the person has been there a while,
So they know
could
the run of the
answer
office.
some
Sure.
a lot of
Yeah.
questions.
Sure.
But that was that. on
Hi.
that. So that was my report on that, and we'll, meet again
To
in
be
January
continued.
on that. Yes.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate that. You meet again in January?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, just briefly, just to keep in line with an agenda, we didn't have you on for this evening.
I didn't send an email.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, all right. Do you want to give us a minute just so we can go through some other stuff and then, okay,
Yeah.
great, all right, thanks. What I did want to get to is a couple of things. Bridget's materials are just updates on some housing complaints. Trash complaint at 7 Church Street. There's a couple of just housing inspections. I'm not even looking at it. I'm gonna go with heat. Oh no. I was wrong. Typically you see the heat ones
Yeah,
come in.
this time of year.
More importantly was the one that last week we talked about, 48 Washington Street.
Yeah.
The letter was sent to the owner several months ago. This is from Bridget this morning. She told me she sent something in. We never got a response from them. The bank has officially taken over. I've contacted the management company for the bank, and they're going to take care of the situation. So that was this morning.
Good.
I talked to her last week, and she was going to make an effort to be
She
in
told
touch with
me
someone.
when I talked to her this morning, the bank said this week.
Okay, great.
So
Great.
Good.
Yep. And then there was just a couple of site plans that she just checked off on. We don't have any issues with as far as
what are they?
buildings in town. It was housing lots at 67 and 67A Groton School Road.
Now, did you chart that it did?
Now okay, so we talked about this. I talked to her about this
Yeah.
last week because, so when I asked her, I said, when you check off approved, we want maybe a little clarity on that. And she said, well, when I check off approved, it really means that I've looked at the Board of Health, like, is it on town sewer? Yes, that's not a Board of Health. Is it on town well? Is it on septic? So in her mind, when she checks off approved, it means that she's run the gamut of looking at our local issues. I said, what if you wrote underneath it, no Board of Health issues? She seemed to be pretty
Yeah.
steadfast in thinking that her check off approved would be enough.
No.
But, all right, so we can maybe have that discussion when,
Again,
I know.
it looks as though it's a Board of Health, because
Right,
when it goes
right,
before the
right.
next board, they
Yep.
say the Board of Health approved
Yeah,
it.
it does look
Right.
like an improvement.
So I think what you
Right.
could do is the caveat could be
Again,
approved.
Change comes
No,
difficult.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll just keep that in mind for.
Just
I'll
ask
keep
her,
an
just
eye.
put,
Yep.
no, please
Yep.
just put.
I will. So, more importantly, we've lost Ken Geekus as our Region 2.
Really?
No.
Yes, we did.
What
The
happened?
email, the mail that came in last week, I didn't have a chance to absorb the email because it was sent out late.
Yeah, I didn't. Even,
There's a new person named Jamie Terry that
I
was
wondered
awarded.
if that was because he, or
Yeah.
if it was like a.
But I wasn't certain that he was
Ah.
going to keep trying because he had to redo his bid every year.
Yeah.
And he was kind of looking at retirement like
Yeah.
as a full-time thing at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And so, but
Yeah.
so I don't know whether or not I never heard from him. I kind of thought we might hear from him if he knew he was stepping down.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's really what this
Okay.
was, but this Jamie Terry is going to be our new rep. And
Okay.
I've asked to meet her. I'm going to meet her next Tuesday at 11:30. He
Okay.
or her. Jamie. I'm going to go with her.
Could be either.
Could be.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But
Jury's
that
out.
is a replacement
The over-under on
for
her.
Ken.
Yes.
Ah,
Because
okay.
the first thing she wanted to do was just have us update our information with her, which I'll work on
Yeah.
with her when I meet with her.
Yeah.
She wanted to see where kind of the state of things are, and I'm happy
Yep.
to meet that. You know, our EDS and all that is up to date, and it's on, you know, all the MOUs are signed for the use of the
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah.
This is,
So her name is Jamie Terry.
well, we don't even know it's a she.
Right, that's
Yeah, this
true.
is
The new
true.
Region
That is a
2
unisex name.
Yeah,
Public
it
Health
is. It
Emergency
is.
Planner is Jamie Terry, if you want to grab, I don't know if you want the
Was there,
T-E-R-R-Y.
which, I'm still trying to get all this on Bridget. So
Oh.
trash was on Church Street?
Trash was on Church Street,
What number?
7.
Okay.
Sorry, I was like going way ahead of you.
Well,
I'm out of control.
that's all right. Anything else?
There was a housing at 119 Littleton Road. And that was just a couple of violations,
Okay.
water and bathroom, chipped paint.
That's all right. Housing, okay.
All right.
And then this is emergency. So Jamie,
Jamie Terry, Terry.
so Ken never said whether he retired.
He
or
never
just
said
never-
anything.
That's funny.
I might actually
I
try to
like it.
reach out to
Yeah.
him and send him a note and see what happened.
Yeah.
Because I thought even if he lost
such
the
a nice
bid,
guy.
because they had to put the jobs out to bid every year,
He did
Yeah.
say
that we would at
Yeah.
least hear from him that he didn't
Yeah.
get the bid.
Yeah, I know.
The last time he was here, he said he was hoping to keep us, and he had done a check back there in the summer, and he said, that's my regular check. And, well, okay.
All right. Next on the agenda, let's look at the minutes of September.
Well, if you
Oh.
want to take a.
Yeah, Chris,
Okay.
you have the floor for a few minutes? So this is the property at, just for the sake of the folks watching at home, this is just a general follow-up to 141 Snake Hill Road. And so, while it's not on the agenda, if we need to take any action, we might have to put you on for next.
That's fine. I'm just
Okay,
looking for
great.
some direction.
How's your world?
Uh,
Sleepless?
yeah, no, it's not so bad. Yeah, baby sleeping. So. Yeah. So I was just took some time at work and tried to throw down my ideas here
Sure.
as to what the order of operations might be.
Sure.
And I was
Sure.
thinking, just as a reminder, so the issue was I just want to, so the plant sewer connections on my house are opposite the side of where the existing septic system is.
Yep,
So the septic system is on the
onto the back.
north side,
Yep.
north back.
Yep. Sewer, yeah.
North. No, that would be on the south side. And then,
If I'm standing in front of
Yeah.
your house.
So I'm looking at the map right here, I'm cheating, so.
Yeah, I'm standing in front of your house. Where is it?
It's on the right-hand side.
Okay.
In the
It's on
back.
the right-hand side towards the back.
In the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be on the left-hand side.
In the
towards
front.
the very front.
Front, right.
Um,
Okay.
And so the idea is that I just want to be able to do that all at the same time within the project
To make the
frame.
connection as part of the addition.
Yeah.
Right.
And so as a proposed order of operations here, I would probably excavate, do the foundation work, frame and sheath, and then roof the house so I have the connection or the everything all together. Then I would have the rough electrical and then the rough plumbing done. And under the rough plumbing, it would be I would do the bathrooms, the first and second floor, because there's going to be a bathroom on
Right.
the backhand side, and then right above that another bathroom on the second floor, and then also add another hot water storage tank on the opposite side of the house. At that point, I would tie into the town sewer from the street, and I would make all of the connections from the existing plumbing, including the kitchen, the existing bathroom, and the laundry, to the new sewer connections. And then get my rough plumbing inspection done and out of the way. If there's new flooring to put in the entryway, I was thinking about doing that. And then I would complete the new bathrooms and fixtures and all that, etc. Remove the existing bathroom at that time, and then crush and fill the septic system.
Sure.
And
When you-
then have the final plumbing inspections, and then thereafter begin the rest of the interior
Sure.
work. So I would do the bathrooms first. And
Sure, okay. So when you apply for the plumbing permit, if you
Right.
can just make sure that the sewer tie-in, I want to make sure administratively that things are covered. And by the way, it's completely not personal. We just want to make sure that the sewer connection gets made and that it's
Absolutely.
not something that all of a sudden your budget gets expended and you're stuck without a sewer connection and a broken septic system.
Yeah.
So, Chris, are you putting a second floor on the entire house? I
on
wasn't-
the entire addition, yes.
Okay, so your current house, where are you starting the
So my current
addition?
house is approximately, so it's 20 feet by 40 feet,
Mhm.
and the addition, just for the sake of arguing, is about, well, it's 18 feet by 54 feet, and what I'll be doing is I'll laying it 8 feet on top of the existing structure, like that. So,
Okay.
and then the addition is going to be 2 stories, a first and second floor.
Okay. And it's how many rooms in the addition?
There's an office in the back on the first floor. There's a bedroom on the first floor. There's a bathroom on the first floor. And then up above, there's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. I've never counted.
Which was which was when we first started talking, and I had a couple of, before our meeting last time, I had talked to Bridget a little bit about it, was the piping out the sewer connection right now internally would have to be completely redone once the addition was done, because then you'd have a brand new foundation and second floor that you'd have to plumb into it.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I think, and just to follow up with the plumbing, what I really want to make sure of is that it can all be covered under the plumbing permit, and that the plumbing permit is going to be, is there an expiration on a plumbing permit?
Yeah,
no, that's what you asked.
That was
That's
the,
what-
that was
yeah,
the number
yeah.
one thing,
Chance
is to make sure all of this is outlined in the plumbing permit, but also, and then we can be in touch with the plumbing inspector. And also, I would say that it just as a point of operational function on that property, the minute he starts using that back area for stockpiling, you're going to crush that leaching field. So it might not happen right away, but if the sewer, by chance,
Yeah.
the weight, because the system only needs to be about 6 inches below the surface.
Okay.
So if so by any chance, if it were to get prolonged, I want you to be aware that there is a possibility. I mean, obviously during construction, you want to try to keep as much.
Yeah.
If access has to be made
Yeah.
that way, you want to probably limit, because you're still going to need to flush and use your sink while your construction's
So-
happening.
Yeah, so if there's any backflow, I mean, would I just move forward? Would you, I mean, in good faith, would you want me to pull the permit to tie into the town sewer
Well, if there
first
becomes
before I do
a-
anything? So that I
What
can
I
just
want
get
is
that-
when you pull your plumbing permit, if it can encompass the sewer tie-in, so we have something that we can look at
Yeah,
and say, we have this documented by the homeowner that this plumbing permit is going to include the sewer tie-in.
yeah.
My question is, does that plumbing permit stay for the length of the project, or is it done by, like, does the plumbing, do you have to pull, see, I
I
don't
think there's a
know.
rough and a final.
Okay.
It's a rough and a final
All right.
inspection. I
So
don't
it's
know about
probably
the
all under
time.
one permit then. So if it just gets listed under that permit, so the plumbing inspector knows that part of their final inspection is the sewer connection,
Yeah.
that's kind of key.
Yeah, I would have it done as part of the rough inspection.
Yeah. And then also
before
when
that.
you, oh good, so it's gonna be that early on is the rough, yeah. And then if you could also even let us know when you sign a contract with a company to crush and fill the system in the backyard, I think that's even added. Because you're gonna obviously hire somebody to come out.
Yeah, I got a quote from Retta.
Yeah, even if you give us a copy of that, that's what you know what, you're following it, just so we can have something, because what I don't want to do is have this board set any kind of precedent, and that we would look at each property as an individual issue based upon their hardship. I mean, it's not hardship because you're obviously expanding the use of your property,
Right.
but in the sense of doing a sewer tie-in and only to have come redo it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
those
I'll-
protections, I think we would be willing to look at, and
When's the next meeting?
we meet at the very end of the month, Mary,
No,
October
we meet
25th.
No, we
Or the
do it
19th.
Yeah,
third, because
2 weeks.
Monday the
Then it's town
26th
meeting.
is fall town meeting.
Yep.
I would have been here alone. The 19th. The 19th.
This one.
of this
Yeah.
month.
Okay.
And then we meet again the second Monday in November. So,
In May and October, between holidays and town meeting, we meet the 1st and the 3rd.
Yep.
Okay, so October 19th and the second.
and if you
week
don't
in
make it,
November,
it'll be the second week in November.
which is the 9th.
If I had my backpack, I could tell you, but Mary knows.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up, though. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Well, I didn't have time to send it at work today.
No, that's great. No, I appreciate it. I
And
appreciate
you-
your time.
Chris,
You plan to
Could you
do all this,
send me a copy of that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And-
outline.
Chris,
That would
you
be
plan
good.
to do all this in the spring?
possibly. It all depends upon when and if in a few weeks from now I'm
Right.
gonna meet with the surgeon. I might have surgery. I don't know
Right.
Yeah,
how
he's
long
got-
it's gonna take
Yeah.
me.
Well,
Right.
we're getting
Yeah.
into winter now, hopefully not like last winter, but one never knows.
Yeah.
This is New
Yeah.
England, so it could be next summer before.
I had to wait for the snow to melt to have all of my
Survey work.
well, no, I had the survey work done before, and then I came to the meeting and it started snowing, and then it didn't stop snowing, and they said I want to do the site walk after the snow melts. So I was like, okay, 4 months
Oh,
from now we'll
So-
see that.
We have time on this.
Oh, yeah, we have time. So
Yeah.
make, if you need to do a little bit of homework, chase down the plumbing inspector,
Yeah.
whatever.
I
We're
think
here
he
for you.
probably comes in every day and checks to see,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
And do we need him to come back before us if he documents everything and signs it? Or do you guys want to meet again on it? Or do you want to empower me to look at, I
I
don't.
think you.
If you want
you
the,
can
you
look
want,
at
you
it.
want me
Just
to.
make sure
We
it's
told him
covered.
what he
Yeah.
needs and
Yeah,
everything.
and then I'll let Gabe
Yeah,
know,
just
once we
keep
get
that.
everything we
It
need.
sounds like it probably won't be going till next year anyway.
So they've empowered me, so you don't have to come back to a board
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah.
If you just get something to Jane and then I can take a look at it.
Okay.
And then are your building permit plans upstairs already with Gabe? Or no,
they're
you
not.
were just
I've
reviewing
gotta-
them at
I've
this
gotta get
point.
the
Yeah,
plans
so what
to
we'll
be
do
calculated,
is
so.
when the building permit comes through, if we get everything ahead of
Okay.
time,
So yeah, that'll probably be in maybe a month-ish.
yeah, we'll be
from
here.
now.
We're not going anywhere.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you all.
Yep,
Thank
take
you.
care. Thanks for coming. All right, let's move on to look at some minutes. I did have a chance to briefly, I printed them off at work today. And,
I will, well, I'll give you a minute because I don't.
did you have a chance to look at them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah, I-
Move that we approve the minutes of September 28th, 2015.
Second.
Great, a motion has been made and seconded to accept the minutes of September 28th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Here, I signed them already. If you want to sign.
There you go.
And by the way, the email about the new Region 2 person was the only thing in the mail packet for tonight's meeting.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that was, there wasn't an, just so I just wanted to let you guys know that. And then
Nice.
what I'll do is if there's anything substantial to report back to the board on at the next meeting, I'll let you know
Okay.
from her
Okay.
or him. Or I'll let you
Okay,
know if it's her or
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I'm really,
Can you
I hope
want to
that-
sign? I know,
It's
I
all
hope
right.
it was
That's
a
not
good,
like him
I hope it
not
was, I
to,
know.
let us
Yeah.
know.
I know.
Because
Well-
when he was here, he spoke like, gee, I hope I get the contract
I know.
again. And,
Yeah.
you know, I know
You know,
all,
having to-
everybody in this area, he
Right.
said, and I,
Having to reapply every year
Yeah.
though is it's gotta be a little bit,
Yeah.
typically, like when you take on a job, it's either on a job basis or multi-year contracts
Yeah,
or that kind of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Because
Mary.
then somebody new is having to learn it all
We're
over
just
again.
trying to year on year, it doesn't
Right.
sustainable,
but
like,
he acted like
Yeah.
he wanted to come back here,
Yeah.
so I'm surprised.
yeah. So we don't have any bills, the mail is very limited. Again, not on the agenda, we can file it under miscellaneous. Pam, I know you've looked at a draft of this permit for, I think very briefly, I think we've had 5 trash haulers come in so far for permitting,
Yeah.
which is good.
That is great. Yeah.
And I haven't processed them yet. I was so
No,
busy
no, that's
getting
okay.
ready.
You know what,
You
you're
know,
just-
go through it with a
Right.
fine tooth comb to make sure they have everything.
Actually, what I was actually thinking about is if you wanted, I don't know whether you have any interest because you are the parent of the regulation. If you wanted to take a look at them and see how the information is coming in to see if it's coming in as we want. I think, wasn't there a question that a hauler had about reporting
there's a checklist, and yeah, not one, but a couple of them have
Just
asked.
on their reporting in.
They're asking
Okay.
in the regs to report semi-annually about, their pickups.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they wanted to know when that happens and what kind of form and what kind of information they need to get.
Okay.
So we need to figure out that.
I want to say, and I don't know, because it does go back a little ways in my brain. I want to say that Mark seemed to have some knowledge about the reporting.
Yeah,
and maybe there's a standard. I don't want to create a new form if we don't have to create a form.
Right, I think
But if
there's an
there's a
established
stock
form,
form
yeah.
that's out there, and it
Yeah.
might even be tied to the CMR. We reference the CMR all the time, so it might even be in there.
You want me to ask Mark about that?
Or Pam, if you want to take
I
a
can
look
ask
at
them. I'll take a look at what
Pam's got all
the questions
That's what I
are.
mean. It's just
Yeah.
when we were developing
Yeah.
this.
Because we were talking at first about once a year,
Yep.
and then we
Twice
talked
a year.
about twice
Right.
a year.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
think, Pam, refresh my memory, wasn't it twice a year so that we could see if there were problems and then let them know rather than wait until almost the end of the year? Because I know we did talk about
Well,
once a year for a long
It was
while,
one-
back and forth.
exactly, and that was one that seemed to vary a lot depending on, when we looked at the other towns. Some of them had it quarterly, which we said, no, we don't want to do this every quarter.
No.
You're right, annually was, well, then a lot of time goes by, so that's my recollection.
Yes.
That's how we
I would
settled
say
on it,
you
so.
could do it the old, obviously if the permits are in place from January 1st to December 31st, I would say June 30th, June 30th, December
Yeah.
31st kind of thing, or,
Well,
Well,
the
let's
first
see,
of
we
June-
said,
That's what I-
we actually had that, and it's in the regulation. Semi-annual reports have to be submitted by August 1st and February 1st of each calendar year. And then we said that the information required will be identified on the reporting form that we're going to provide.
Okay.
So I can talk to
Okay, but
Mark
if,
about that, because I know there already is a format he has gotten.
Okay, yeah.
reports.
Well, they were asking about that, and they had obviously read the regs and were
Yeah.
concerned. Because they said, if we've got to track this, we've got to know up front what it is that we need
Well,
to be
Yeah.
sure.
Pam,
Mary.
you wouldn't want to be reporting in February, they're only getting started in January.
They
So-
don't necessarily have to do in this first year.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think,
I would say we'd
a
look at
February
it.
Yeah.
Right.
report. But the idea was just to kind of stagger it,
To set it.
yeah, a little bit.
All right. Okay.
And they also can do it, we put in here that they can do it sooner if they want. It's a minimum
They
of
might,
twice
right, they
a
might have to
year.
report
It has to
other
happen
towns.
by this date.
They
Well,
might have to report to other towns, so
Well,
it might make sense.
Where
Yeah.
this is on a calendar year, unlike everything else in a municipality.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is the fiscal year.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So work on that, get it on my desk by tomorrow morning, and we'll be all set.
Oh, of course.
That's what my
It's pretty
boss says to
simple.
me, I know.
It's tonnage of
Yes, of
of waste
course.
and tonnage of recycling.
And they have that for their own records, because that's how they bill out,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And I'm sure, like you said, that they do this for other towns, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
Do you
So-
have, Jane, I'm sorry.
No,
Jane,
please.
do you have questions in email format that you can forward to me? Or
No,
should
no,
I come,
I've
just come in
had
and
two
look at them,
calls.
or-
I've
okay.
had 2 phone calls.
Okay,
So, no, nothing in email format.
okay. All right.
Just-
Then I'll talk to Mark
Okay.
first and,
Right. If there's a standard
See
form, we'll just
yeah.
use it.
Because he has to report.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, is my guess is there's a
And he
standardized
mentioned
form.
it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly,
I think it's known, we just don't happen to know it right now.
because we're rookies.
Yeah.
Speaking of rookie, we have a draft of a permit, and I took a very brief look at probably an early version of it. Pam, I think you've looked at it.
Yeah, Yeah, I
Mary,
wanted a-
Mary just got a copy this evening.
I wanted the permit number, which I thought that we actually should do numbers, because then we can
Yes.
kind of tie that
Yes.
to.
Oh, sure.
So we get a number.
Yeah, and you know, where I come from in my former world, I don't know, what do we do with our chicken ones, but typically we do the year, you know, like, we would do like
Yeah.
2016-01.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, or however you want to do it, like
Yeah.
16-01 or
Right,
something
right,
like that.
Yeah.
I'll
come
For,
up
for
with that.
just, you know,
My only thing is it's so tiny.
I know, we can make it a little
Is
bigger.
there any way
Make it a little
that you
bigger.
can?
Yeah, you could play
Move
around with the
this,
size.
Because I
Yeah.
like,
Of the
by the
top
way,
versus
I
the bottom.
actually like, and I have to presume, because I didn't go read back and forth, this language is taken directly from the reg, right? Like, we're not creating any new language, because I
No.
didn't want to
No,
run the
there's
risk of
nothing
that.
new.
If you made it big, maybe made the header up top a little bit smaller to make this bigger, I actually think it's nice, because not only does it talk about having a copy in each truck, it talks about having received a copy of the regs. That way, if a driver says, I don't know, you say, well, it's right on your permit that's in your
Yeah.
truck.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I liked about it being there.
I think you could
Yeah.
just, if you moved this up just a little
Yep.
tiny bit.
Just a little
and
formatting.
moved this up.
Yep.
Just so that we could read this.
Yep, just a
little
Well,
little
I
bit
can
more.
certainly make it
Yep.
bigger.
Perfect.
I kind of, design-wise, I made it smaller because it's a small print, but
Right.
I
increase
can
the size of the
certainly
font.
make it so that it can be read.
A little bit bigger.
There's
It doesn't have
plenty
to be
of room.
huge, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's
great.
plenty of
Otherwise, I
room.
think it's a great pass. I think it's,
And maybe,
Yeah.
maybe this up here.
yeah, maybe the seal could go
Well,
up
the
top.
reason
or-
I put it down there is if you seal something,
Oh,
if you had
typically
a
it's the
seal,
bottom
Oh,
right.
I see.
you would
yeah.
be, in fact, I was thinking it would be nice to seal them, but, we don't have a
No.
seal.
You know what? If you
Yeah.
raise the header up a little bit and open this
Oh, I
up,
can
it
do
might
that.
it might
That's
give a
not a
little
big
more
deal.
space down here. Yeah. All right.
It's not a big
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
Let me, I
That's
can do that.
All right. Otherwise, I don't have any problem with the content inside of
No.
it. As a matter of fact, it just reinforces the
Well, that's
language.
exactly what I thought, because, the guy in the truck hasn't read the,
right. He's going to read the permit
yeah.
one way or another. Great. All
Yeah.
right.
And if he
Let's
gets
look at it.
pulled over, he can look at it.
Right.
Yes.
You know, we'll
Right,
just
right.
look. We'll just look at another visual at the next meeting. It doesn't have to be an agenda item. We can just
Well,
look at
because
it.
They're going to want us to start
Start
sending
giving them. So
Mhm.
October 19th,
Sure.
if we can have a final draft, even if you need to send it out once again.
Yep,
Yep.
no worries.
Yeah. That,
Speaking of October 19th, just to discuss any agenda items, does anybody have anything off? We don't have a RAB meeting.
we had a RAB meeting. It was just before our last meeting, so it must have been like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
I can give you a very quick update
Well, we
if
don't-
you want, or we
I'll
could
put it on.
the
Let me
agenda
put it
for
on for the next
one.
meeting. We have something to
Okay.
do with the next meeting.
Yeah.
Let's do a
Sure, that's
RAB
fine.
update.
That's fine.
If I need to give an emergency preparedness update just on meeting with the elusive Jamie Terry, I will give you one.
Yep.
If not, I'll just tell you I met her and everything is fine. He or her, he or she.
He or she. Yeah.
We don't have, I don't believe we have any kind of special permits coming up. Tobacco should be getting out the door. I think we
November,
talked
we
about
said.
that,
Yeah.
November 1st, yep.
Barn book, has the barn book come in? All right, so you need to call the state.
Yeah.
The barn book hasn't come in yet.
Yeah.
Could I ask why she isn't doing this herself?
That's what I'm saying. She needs to call the
She
state.
needs to call. It's
She
such
can
a
call. She
problem.
needs to call
What
the
is
state.
their problem with the book?
But what is her problem for not calling?
No, I mean, I
She needs to call.
that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but
yeah.
it's
barn
not
book.
the first time it's been late
I
either.
know.
Yeah.
My gosh, they do this every
Yeah,
year.
Well,
You'd
last
think they'd
year,
have it
yeah, we
down.
didn't get it either, and I had to call
But
before
it's,
they.
Yeah, I know.
she needs
Have
to call.
Carlene call.
Okay.
That way she can exercise her position.
Speaking of which, is there something on here that I can bring up under miscellaneous?
Well, wait, let me just
Okay.
finish future.
Yeah, future could be a RAB update, and maybe an emergency preparedness update,
Mhm.
barring anything else.
They don't publish anywhere on the. Trying to think if there's anything on the website that says Says when the barn book has to be completed, but it doesn't say a date by which they must
Send
Yeah.
it
get
out.
it into
Ship it.
hands, yeah.
Well, it's a very
Yeah, I recall
limited
this.
time because she's supposed to have the report in by January 1st.
Right,
But
right.
they did this, we were chasing them last year, but it's her
Yeah.
job. She needs to call
Yeah.
them and get it.
Ding.
And just a reminder, about town meeting and
Town meeting,
quite a few articles on it.
October 26th,
Correct.
here at the town hall.
Here at the
Yep.
town hall. Yeah.
All right, Jane, what did you have to add under
I
miscellaneous?
just remembered this. A couple weeks, well, maybe, I don't know when it was, last week or so, I got a call complaining about roosters crowing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I sat down and drafted a letter. And I was gonna send it out, certified mail. And I sat down, because I like to cite chapter and verse
Sure.
before I do. And there's not really anything in the regs.
Where were the
That's right.
roosters?
Over on Victor Drive, 9 Victor Drive.
And do you have a way have you confirmed that or just by phone call?
Somebody called, and I have emailed Carlene,
Yeah,
and she said there's really, and I said, is there anything, she says.
because we know they have a permit over there. We did issue permits to
Yes,
Victor
but
Drive
I
not that
looked.
long ago.
And as for chickens, and next year I'll know better, and I'll say hens. I didn't know. I was
Regulation
really
does not, it doesn't prohibit
So then
roosters.
I wrote up this very nice letter, and I wanted to, send it off, and I
Yeah.
decided since there's nothing in there, I really didn't. I couldn't. So
No, and
Roosters are
you know,
roosters.
Well, when I was researching this last year, I did find that some towns do prohibit roosters because of the noise. Our regulation
does
doesn't.
not.
So it would actually be a change to the regulation to do that. But
I'm not inclined
They're
to
the same
because we don't see
species.
those on a critical mass. I
No.
mean, I'm
Right.
not inclined to
Me either.
alter I mean, I've been on this board now for 3 years plus, and that's the first rooster crowing complaint I've
yeah,
heard come
first
in.
one that I've
Right,
heard of.
right,
And I
right,
think
right.
it's kind of self-limiting because I don't think the owners want to listen to them either.
yeah, I
Right.
wouldn't think so.
Right. I don't know what the
So-
circumstances are that caused that. The sunrise, like in the cartoons, the rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, when they ship you, you get your chicks through the mail.
Yeah.
You occasionally get a mail
Sure.
in there
Sure.
that you didn't order, and some
Yeah,
people
all right.
keep them. And,
Well, good for not
Yeah.
sending it. Thank you for
Yes.
doing that extra. But also,
You can't regulate every single thing in life.
no,
Yeah,
and but
exactly.
to kind of go back to it, if Carlene wants a letter written, she should work closer with you to get those things written
Okay.
because it's not your job.
Oh, she
And
didn't
no,
ask
no,
for the
well,
letter
then-
to be
so then-
written. I just.
No, but what I mean is more that her position is as such that she acts on those things on our behalf, and so if she said, send him a letter,
Mm-mm.
but there isn't anything. So thank you for doing the diligence of looking it
Well,
up.
I'm just wondering, I think next year when I fill out the things, I'm gonna say hens rather than chickens. I mean, I didn't even think about it.
On the permit,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters really because
Well,
we
I
don't
think that
reference
if
hens.
people are in, living in close.
No,
proximity,
what I mean
it's
is
great.
that our
Yeah.
regulation doesn't speak to it either way as far
Right.
as the noise. So,
Okay.
but
Like,
well, if they,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. When you go to do renewals, if you want to say how many roosters do you have
Oh, I don't want to
versus,
start
I don't
that.
really know that we
No,
really
I
need
No,
don't
but
think
for
just
one
when
phone
I say,
call.
I'll
Yeah.
just say, because some of them did say hens.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and chickens, going back to my farm days,
Yep.
when you talk about chickens, you're really kind of talking about hens.
Right.
Because when you have a
Roosters.
flock of chickens,
Right.
you don't, a rooster is a rooster.
the rooster is
Yeah.
useless, really, in this situation.
I I mean, you want eggs unless you want chickens.
Right.
Other
Yeah.
So next meeting, October 19th, RAB,
Yeah.
maybe emergency preparedness. I'd like an update on the barn book on whether she was able to get
Oh,
it.
she needs to get on it. She needs to do
And
this.
so, but I was, yep, go on.
You just shook my mind here. Didn't we have a complaint over on Snake Hill about somebody that had chickens that didn't have a permit?
Oh, that's right. We sent them a letter and their due date, I believe, is passed. I think it was October 1st.
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing. That was Mark Fermanian's tenants.
Tenant.
Yep.
Can we just maybe follow up and
Yep.
find out from either Mark or the tenant?
I would say we
I-
should follow up with Mark.
Yeah,
We should.
Yeah.
as the property owner.
And that
Yeah.
was a confirmed sighting.
Oh, yeah.
So we know
Oh, yeah.
the data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Confirmed
wondering,
chicken
I think
sighting.
maybe
Yeah.
I did send a registered
You
letter.
did send, I mean, it was in our mail the
One.
last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gave until the end of September.
That's right.
That's
and
right.
it was, I had to follow up as of October 1st.
That's
and here we
correct.
are.
That's right.
So
But
that's
it's
what it
his-
is. Yeah.
It's his
It's on my
property. It's a
tickle.
Yep.
two-family
Yep,
house, I
yep,
think,
yep.
and it was the other party, so.
Okay.
And I've heard through the grapevine, through Mary actually, that Mark has instructed his
That's
tenant.
what he told me. He
Oh,
told
to
them
get
to
the
get rid
permit.
of them, but
Oh, to get rid of
yeah,
them.
they
Yeah.
didn't have permission, so.
So,
All right.
But
All
we
right.
need to follow
It might
up to
give
make
you-
sure.
Either way,
at this point.
documented that they're gone or
Yep.
otherwise. All
yeah.
right.
And just a kind of a reminder too that it's getting near the end of the year, and I think December we have just one meeting to think about the report for the town report.
Nice. Okay. That's right. Big thing this year, solid waste regs.
Yeah, well,
Have to write
that
that
was
up.
something
It
new.
was big. It was a
Yeah.
pretty big, well, it's a
It
new
is
reg. New
It's
reg.
a new reg, but a lot of time went into
A lot of
that.
time went into it. Vitasoy
It's
stuff.
good.
We got some good stuff done this
Yeah,
year,
we
ladies.
really did.
We're slow and steady, but we get it done.
No, but it's
It's
not
good. It's all
really.
good stuff.
I'm so
That's
pleased,
right.
and it was a nice write-up in the newspaper.
I didn't
Right.
see it yet.
It's
I have
it's
to go
very
find
nice.
it. I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll
it's
grab
And
very
it.
again,
nice.
I think that we can pat ourselves for that.
Absolutely.
And this
And-
new group, after all these years
Yeah,
of them being over
yeah.
there,
I agree.
they followed through
I agree.
on everything. And
That's what I liked about the little article, because I like to give them some positive feedback too.
Absolutely.
For
well, they have,
finally going the
you know.
Well, and I was glad to have the press here too.
Yeah.
You know, that's been hard to
Yeah,
get on
exactly.
occasion.
And they've
so
got an ad that they're looking for help.
That's
So.
great.
Yeah.
Business
Yeah.
must be good.
And I think
Yeah.
next week Bridget will be going over because Shop and Save is supposed to have their soft
Oh,
opening
right.
on the 15th.
15th.
Wow.
I drove by the other night. It looks good. The front facade, you know,
Yeah.
it's all been redone.
Yeah.
And then if you drive by, the lights were on because it was nighttime. You can see that things inside have been reorganized a little
Oh,
bit.
oh,
you know,
they
the
would
different
have to be,
areas.
yeah.
So it looks pretty good.
You know,
It'll be
speaking
nice.
of shop
Hmm.
and save, and I'm looking for direction here. He came in. He's very nice. He came in and gave me the stuff, but he didn't have the state license yet. And I said, "Oh, we have to have the state license before."
For tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should under the circumstance, should I chase him
Nope,
for that?
nope.
He doesn't have a license to sell cigarettes in Ayer right
No.
now.
No, these are adults. They're
is.
running businesses.
That's
It is not a.
When
For
I
us
mean,
to
he's
be
paid.
like
He's
their-
paid for it, but he doesn't have.
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
complete though.
he-
Yeah,
Right.
he's.
You know what I would say is
We're
when
not,
Bridget
yeah.
goes out to do her walkthrough, she can say your tobacco permit's not complete without the
Yeah.
state form. and
Okay,
everything."
I'll email Bridget and mention
Yeah.
that.
Just so she could even say it to him just in passing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not for her to
But
enforce,
he knows.
but he
knows
knows.
he has to do this. You
It's a
know,
new
we-
business,
yeah.
so my guess is everything's probably lining up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's got everything else, and I said,
Right.
"Oh, I need to have the state permit."
Right.
And showed him, and he says, "Oh, yeah."
Okay.
So he said that he had already read,
Oh, good. Then he should have it.
submitted it. So
Yeah.
Great.
He should be.
he just needs to give me a copy of it.
Excellent.
Yep.
So next it'd be you're gonna
19th.
And you're gonna do a RAB update, you're gonna maybe do a emergency.
Preparedness update,
Yeah,
yeah, if
and-
there's anything we need to, I'll pencil it in as an agenda item if there's nothing substantial that comes out of it.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I'll, you know, and then, so those two things, and then if anything comes up between now and then.
Well, you can at least tell us if it's Mr. or Ms.
I'll just put it on
Terry.
the agenda anyway.
Put it
I'll
on
just
the
put the whole, I'll put it on the agenda. That way we can discuss it as a group.
I think
Exactly.
well, we already decided anyway with regards to that bylaw, we were not gonna make any more changes.
No, I actually sent
Right.
Robert a note. You mean the nuisance one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent Robert a note the evening I came home from here because I was up doing some other stuff. And I sent him a note and I said, you know, the board reviewed the updated regulation, you know, the updated bylaw. We don't have any new comments to add. Please see attached our previous memo of whatever, you know, and that was
They didn't
it.
make many changes.
No, they trimmed it down, I think, a little bit, but I don't know. It started, I forgot how many pages it started at, but
Yeah.
but
Doesn't
I'm still
address the one
concerned with
thing.
enforcement.
Doesn't address the one thing that you should have, which is the full-time.
Right, right.
You can make all
Yep.
the laws you want, but if you don't have
know.
the
But I
people
I
to
just
do
basically,
them-
my email just referenced our original comments. And I
Yeah,
said, we don't
right,
have anything
yeah.
new to add. Our comments
I think
stand.
we were all in agreement.
We were.
Main
Yep.
thing is missing.
Yep,
And I think tomorrow night, they have to approve
The warrant.
The warrant, because other than, unless they make a couple of changes, in which case they'd have to have like a special in a meeting in the morning to
Right.
do
Yeah.
it. But
Right.
I know the FinCom will be there tomorrow night, and there's that whole big new compensation package. So this
Yeah.
could be an interesting town meeting.
you know, I come from maybe the older school that typically large town impactful things usually get put on in the springtime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my primary concern, and I know there might not be many watching us at home right now, but my primary concern was socializing the nuisance bylaw update and some of the other things. But you know, I know that they want to get onto the warrant. So
Yeah, well, not a lot of, it's clearly not as many people come out for fall town.
even though we all
Well,
should,
no.
As spring, we should, absolutely,
Yes.
we should, but,
Well, the whole compensation, you normally wouldn't have something like that in the
It's
fall.
yeah.
However,
Yeah.
because of the interruption and HRS not getting the report back when
Yeah.
it should, it was not ready for the spring.
Yeah,
And it is a significant financial impact.
sure.
yep.
So people need to,
People need to
come.
come to the
Sure.
meeting so
Yes.
you can have your
Yes.
input on that.
Right.
This isn't your typical fall
no, it
town
isn't.
meeting.
No, it's not your typical fall
Yeah.
town meeting.
Okay, well, if there
I'll
is
entertain-
nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
Right, a motion's been made and seconded to adjourn, the time being, let's go with 6:17.
Right.
Spelled right
All
to
those in
me.
favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.